5.1 Translation and Reflection. Translation means something a little bit different in math. But first, let's review the coordinate system. Point A, we know is 2, 5. So we say that the x-coordinate is 2 and the y-coordinate is 5. Point B, the x-coordinate, because this is the x-axis, the x-coordinate is 4. The y-coordinate over here, this is the y-coordinate, y-axis, is 3. So B would be 4, 3. C, we'll do one more. C is down here. The x-coordinate is 6, but the y-coordinate is negative. It's negative 4. So for C, the y-coordinate is 6, negative 4. Translation means to move. We can move up, down, left, or right. For example, to translate the apple 5 units to the right in math, so I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's translate to the right. So now the apple is at 1. Here's an example of translation. We have our graph, P, Q, R, a triangle. We can move it left and right, and we can move it up and down. So these are both examples of translation. In this example, we know that translation, in this example, to go from PQR to P prime, Q prime, R prime, we must have moved 1, 2 units to the right, 2, 2 units down. Okay. When we go up, y increases. When we go down, y decreases. When we go to the right, the x-axis increases. When we go to the left, the x-axis decreases. What does that mean? Well, in this example, what did we have to do? To go from P to P prime, 1, 2, 1, 2. So we must have gone 2 units down and 2 units to the right. So we translated 2 units down and we translated 2 units to the right. Example 2. First, we'll find the coordinates of PQR. P has to be 1, 4, because 1 right here and 4 right here. Q must be 5, 3. And R must be 1, negative 2. So we have 1, 4, 5, 3. X is 5, y is 3. The last one, x is 1, y is negative 2. The triangle P prime, Q prime, R prime is formed by translating the triangles 3 units up. Up, what does that mean again? Oh, up means y increases. 2 units to the left. Left means the x-coordinate decreases. So we know that x, we have to subtract by 2. Y, we have to go up by 3. So we have 3 units up, 2 units to the left. 3 units up means y increases by 3, x decreases by 2. The first one is x, the second one is y. That's always true. So that's why P prime would be x, 1 minus 2 is negative 1. And the next one is plus 3, which gives us negative 1, 7. For the next one, we have 5 and 3. X we subtract by 2, y we add 3, and we get 3, 6. For R, it's 1, negative 2. The x we subtract by 2, the y we increase by 3, and we get negative 1, 1. And that's it. In fact, we can try that. We want 3 units up, 2 units to the left, and that's it. Those are our points. -1, 7, which is this one. We have 3, 6, which is this one. And we have -1, 1, which is this one. Okay. Next, reflection. A prime, B prime, C prime here is a reflection of A, B, C. Reflections look like this. This is reflection across x-axis. And we see that as the points move, it's always directly across the x-axis. The x-axis is right here. So we're reflecting over the x-axis. Y-axis, reflection over y-axis looks like this. And we see that this reflection across the y-axis. So when we reflect over the x-axis, notice that 1 here stays the same, but 2 becomes -2. 3 stays the same, 7 becomes -7. 7 stays the same, 1 becomes -1. So reflection across x-axis, x-coordinate stays the same, y-coordinate becomes, we multiply by -1. So positive becomes negative, negative becomes positive. That's what we get. And we can see that here. 3, 7 becomes 3, -7. 1, 2 becomes 1, -2. 7, 1 becomes 7, -1. Similarly, for reflection over y-axis, here's the y-axis, 3, 7 this time becomes -3, 7. So this time the x changes. 1, 2 becomes -1, 2. 7, 1 becomes -7, 1. So when we reflect over y-axis, not x-axis, sorry, y-axis, the x-coordinate, we multiply by -1. Positive becomes negative, negative becomes positive. The y-coordinate stays the same. So here's an example. Remember, reflection over the x-axis means y times -1. Y-axis means x times -1. A rectangle ABCD with coordinates these is reflected over the x-axis. Okay, when we do that, the y must change. 5, 3 becomes 5, -3. 9, 3 becomes 9, -3. 5, 6 becomes 5, -6. 9, 6 becomes 9, -6. When we reflect over the y-axis, this time the y doesn't change, but the x changes. So 5 becomes -5. 9 becomes -9. 5 becomes -5. And it becomes -9. Because that's what reflection over the y-axis means. Finally, the point P47 is translated 4 units to the right and 1 unit down. Okay, so that means x increases by 4 and y decreases by 1. So we have 8, 6. Next, point P prime is reflected across the y-axis to form P prime prime. When we reflect across the y-axis, the x becomes negative. 8 becomes -8, and the y stays the same. Okay? That's it for this video.